language matters. Language absolutely changes how we feel about what we are going through. Changing the language means you are using psychological flexibility to create a narrative that is more helpful to you. So it's not about denying the truth. It's about changing the perspective. And is it possible to look at something in a way that is more facilitative to my healing and my mental health?
Welcome to the Injured Athletes Club podcast, the show that helps athletes cope with sports injuries and bounce back stronger. I'm journalist Cindy Kuzma.
And I'm mental skills coach Carrie Jackson. We're sorry you're here, but we're glad you're with us.
This week, Carrie's going to use her expertise in mental performance and injury recovery to address a question that one of you, the listeners, has sent in.
But before we get to that, we want to start with a very big thank you to our sponsor. This season of the Injured Athletes Club is brought to you by Lever Movement. The lever system is an innovative way to reduce your body weight and the impact on your joints while exercising on a treadmill.
The lever system is perfect for returning after an injury or break, or for adding volume or speed without increasing your risk of getting hurt. And it's portable, and you can set it up in less than 2 minutes. Use code TIAC20 to get 20% off your purchase. Check out Lever today and take your training to the next level.
Injured Athletes Club podcast listeners, I have something I want to share with you. These words came from an email sent to us from another podcast listener as he celebrated his 1-year milestone with a 100-mile bike ride. He says, I cannot understate how many times I have referred friends and colleagues to your book for guidance and advice after an injury. Every time someone gets injured, they ask me, how did you do it? I tell them I read your book. I told them of the lessons I learned and how they helped guide me through the process of a long and slow recovery. Everyone who has read your book after that advice has come back to me and said it was a lifesaver. If you are an injured athlete or work with injured athletes, it is time to get your hands on a copy of our book, Rebound, Train Your Mind to Bounce Back Stronger from Sports Injuries. Rebound offers a roadmap to work toward a swifter, stronger comeback using psychological tools that allow you to take control of your recovery. There are over 40 stories from injured athletes and 45 mental training drills injured athletes can use to boost motivation, resilience, and confidence as they recover from injury. Rebound is available in print, digital, and audio. Order your copy of Rebound at your favorite place to buy books today and get to work on your mental rehab.
So now let's get on to this week's question, which is from Olivia. Olivia says, I am a soccer player and I tore my labrum in my right hip. After trying physical therapy for 4 months, I ended up needing surgery. I am a couple months post-op, feeling much better now, and can see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. However, I'm still having trouble being around soccer. Every time I go to support my team, it doesn't even feel like mine anymore. I'm very excited to play again, but I'm scared that I will have been left behind and scared I'm not going to be the player I used to be. How can I cope with the fact that I'm most likely not going to be able to play for the next 6 months? And how can I get to the point where I can be around soccer again without being heartbroken?
Ugh, heartbroken. I know. I was heartbroken when we got this email from Olivia, and I'm so glad she reached out. So to provide just a little more context, Olivia's original treatment plan was to do PT, and she did that for 4 months with the idea that, like, this is what I need to do in order to heal and start playing again. But when she started to play again, everything got worse, and she felt like she was back at ground zero, and that's when the surgery was recommended to her. So with that piece, I wanted to highlight that because I know other people have gone through similar situations where, you know, it can feel absolutely devastating when you're on a certain recovery path, doing what you think you need to be doing in order to heal, only to find out that it didn't work. When you go through an experience like that, it can very much feel like, oh my God, what a waste of time. Now I have to start all over. So first, it's important to know that this is absolutely a normal and understandable emotional response to going through this situation. And second, I would really encourage, anyone that goes through this, and you, Olivia, to think about changing up that narrative. So the reality is that sometimes you can't know what's going to work or not work until you try it. Oftentimes the path to healing comes with setbacks like this. And it's a setback, but it isn't, right? What I mean by that is like, it's a normal part of the process. So yes, like if we were looking at your recovery in a linear way, you could define that as a setback, but recovery doesn't move in a linear way, right? Like in a perfect upward trajectory, right? So it's part of the process versus I know that mentally and emotionally it absolutely feels like a devastating setback, but just playing with that language, right? Really pay attention to the language you are using when you talk about or think about what's happening for you. So language matters. Language absolutely changes how we feel about what we are going through. Changing the language means you are using psychological flexibility to create a narrative that is more helpful to you. So it's not about denying the truth. It's about changing the perspective and looking at something is it possible to look at something in a way that is more facilitative to my healing and my mental health? So it's not about denying your feelings. It's about seeing and understanding the entire picture. So Olivia, when you said, man, your statement about like, every time I go to support my team, it doesn't even feel like mine anymore is so powerful. And many athletes have felt this way while going through injury. And many athletes struggle with conflicting feelings of supporting their team and teammates while injured. You know, it feels like everyone else is moving ahead and I'm moving behind, right? Like everyone else is gaining fitness and I'm losing mine. And then the fears of, am I going to be the same player? Am I going to be the same soccer player I was before? All of those are really, really common for injured athletes. And that's why for a period of time, just looking at a soccer ball was painful because it was a reminder of what you can't do, what you couldn't do. So when you play a team sport or train with a team, it can be really hard to watch all of your teammates moving forward without you. That's what it feels like, that they're moving forward without you. And there's a really great quote that speaks to exactly what you're feeling. And this quote is by Joe Morris. And he says, one of the things that happens is you watch the team and suddenly you're saying they instead of we, because in the middle of it all, you feel invisible again. So I know how isolating it can feel too when when you play a team sport and you're injured and all you want more than anything is to just be out there with your team. So not even just like, I just want to be able to play soccer, but also I want to be out there with my team. It's really hard to be separated from that part of your life when you're injured or to feel like you're separated from that part of your life. So it's okay for you to be excited for your team and teammates and fully support them and be heartbroken at the same time. It is okay to feel both of those feelings at the same time. One thing to remember is that you are still an athlete and that is still your team. And your job right now is to focus on your recovery. That's your job as their teammate. And I know it feels like that isn't contributing to your team because you're used to contributing something different. But you putting your focus and energy into your recovery is absolutely contributing to your team. When you put 100% of your focus into your recovery, what will happen is you'll stop thinking about the fact that you can't play and you'll start to feel like a part of the team again when you make that your objective, when you change the narrative and understand that me doing this right now is being a part of the team because this just happens to be where I'm at on my athletic journey. And I'd prefer to be somewhere else, but I'm not. So what do I need to do to be healthy? And what do I need to do to show the team that I'm still here and I'm still a part of this? So we really are thinking about you during your recovery, Olivia, and hope you find some really awesome ways to connect with your team while you're getting stronger and healing from your surgery.
We definitely are rooting for you and thinking of you, Olivia. And I got to say, Carrie, that magic word prefer, you used it just there and you talk about how words matter. And I found that word so helpful in just telling my story the way that empowers me. And Olivia, I hope you find something helpful in there for you too. Thank you for sending in that question. Coach Carrie, as always, thank you for your wise words in response. We are also grateful to Jeremy Nessel for editing the show and to Lever Movement, our sponsor, for making the show possible. You will definitely want to click through the show notes to learn more about the Lever system and how it can help you if you're returning from injury or how it can help you prevent getting injured again. If you are like Olivia, you have a question on your mind and you want to send it in for an upcoming episode, you can email us at hello@injuredathletesclub.com, or you can visit the Facebook page for the show and leave a note there. Finally, if you want to submit a question or if you just want some support, please join our Facebook support group, which is also called the Injured Athletes Club. I always say it is my favorite place on social media. It's the one place where people are always supportive and positive. People are going through some hard things, but there's always another athlete there to give you advice, to lift you up, to just listen and know that they truly get it because they've been there or they're there right now. You can get a link to that page, a link to information about Lever, and all of the other things that we mentioned in the show on our website, injuredathletesclub.com. We'll see you there.